All
Here
right.
we go. We're live.
We are live. We're live. It's
So
alive.
this is our experiment, right? We're just going to be chit-chatting before we start.
Yeah, we'll start right at
Right?
12:30. So this,
Yeah.
even though we're live, this is like the secret live stuff. So I'm going to check on my phone to make sure it's actually there.
And we can tell some jokes.
I hear a secret agent somewhere lurking.
I do too.
Sorry. I used to watch
Every move he makes, another chance he takes. Odds are he won't live to see tomorrow.
I used to watch that show, and a buddy of mine who lived in this area, I don't know if you remember JP, Jimi Powers, harmonica player.
I do, yeah.
JP played for Johnny Rivers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He moved out to California, played for Bonnie Raitt, Johnny Rivers, a whole bunch of people. Everybody he played was the AA class.
That's amazing.
I can't wait to start
great.
this show. I have so many guitar questions to ask you.
Okay.
But I have to put them
Do
off.
you see us, Lisa?
I do.
Do you see us? You do?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is live. So in the meantime, since we're starting officially in 3 minutes, Linwood, where do you live now?
In the universe.
In the universe. Are you in Maryland?
Wow, what a smart aleck.
I am a PG County resident.
You are a Marylander.
Yes, indeed.
All right. I'm a Virginia and upstate New York, but I'm in upstate New York right now, and Diana's in DC. So
yes,
actually because I'm in Arlington most of the time, that makes us the DMV group. DC,
yes,
Virginia, Maryland.
And I was born in Virginia.
Oh, which part?
Fort Lee, right outside of Petersburg, baptized in Richmond at St. Joseph's Catholic Church, which is no longer there because they tore it down. At the time, it was the oldest African-American Catholic church in the diocese, but they tore it down to make room for the Powhite Freeway.
Wow. Wow.
They made us go to the cathedral on north side afterwards.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
A lot of history.
Oh,
yeah. So what guitar are you holding right there today?
A Gibson Les Paul.
Oh, nice.
Goldie. And
Gold.
what's cool about this is that it's all gold.
Wow. Wow.
That's a solid body, right?
Yes, it is. It's a solid body.
Oh, yeah, nice. Well, I think it is time for us to start. Even though
Daisy, shut up.
Rick Wheeler says, I'm here, you're starting early.
No, we're not. We're going to start late as always. We love Johnny Rivers too. Hi, Adele. Stop. Daisy, come here. Here.
Sorry.
You want some milk and Kahlua? Yeah, it's delicious.
All right, how many pets are on this broadcast? We've got Muddy, and we've got Daisy, and we've got Spirit. Are there any more
and
pets?
Sid is upstairs.
No, Muddy,
ready?
Muddy is right by my feet.
Okay.
Muddy's by my feet, and Judy's behind me on the drums.
Aw.
Hi, Judy.
Okay, looks like we're live still. We're the Snarky Sisters. I'm Diana.
And I'm Lisa.
And here's
Linwood.
our theme song. Hey, there's
Linwood
Linwood.
Taylor.
Here's
Woo!
Daisy, Spirit, Muddy, and Judy. It's the Sunday Songwriter Spotlight with the Snarky Sisters. We're live at noon exactly. Right here on our Facebook page. With our friends we will commune because we're communists. Featuring Linwood Taylor and some of his fabulous tunes.
We all love Mr. Taylor. If you don't know him, well, you should. He's the master of the guitar, yes. We'd be just like him if we could. Well, here's to Mr. Taylor. He really should get a knighthood. Sir Taylor. Yes. Woohoo.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great.
What have you got to drink today, Linwood? I've got a Linwood libation with Kahlua and cream.
A straight a vanilla, Shirley Temple, Sumatran coffee, and maple syrup.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And I have a Taylor toddy.
In your feeling snarky cup.
Feeling snarky. Woohoo.
Feeling
Cheers.
snarky. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, cheers.
Here, and Judy has the same coffee that I do, except hers has some Irish stuff in it.
Ooh.
Mmm.
Oh no, well it's like a lot of people I know. She's got the mixed thing. She's got her Italiano side, and then she has the Irish side from my ancestors.
Wow.
Okay.
That's the secret part of my ancestry.
Uh-huh.
Is Irish? Wow.
Yeah,
We could be cousins.
great grandfather.
Wow, from where? Do you know?
I don't know from where. I just know that he lost.
Okay.
Yeah,
But Diana has Irish ancestors.
I do.
I
do.
would not doubt that. The hair is a dead giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
My friends, my friends who have like 9 children, they like all of them happened. That all happened to every single one of them. By the time they were 30, their hair just turned white.
Really? Wow.
Well, I wanted to just say a few things for anyone who could possibly not know Linwood Taylor. He's guest starred on albums by Bad Brains' leader, HR, and we'll talk about that. And he shared the stage with Johnny Winter and opened for Johnny Copeland, Albert Collins, Lonnie Mack, and Rory Gallagher. Linwood started playing guitar at a very young age, I think maybe 11, but that wasn't his first instrument, was it, Linwood? We're going to talk about that.
Man.
He
y'all
started playing
investigating.
guitar. He started playing electric guitar when he was about 11, and the rest is well history. In 2010 or thereabouts, Linwood decided he wanted to be a band leader, and he formed his own Linwood Taylor band. Equally at home with the blues and rock and roll, Linwood's influence include the kings of blues like Muddy Waters, but also Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton. Linwood has at least 3 albums, and we know he's working on another one because we hear that he's recording tomorrow. So, welcome, Linwood.
Hey,
Yay.
hello. Well, thank you very much. May I clear up a huge inaccuracy?
Well, I thought I saw a wagging finger, so yes, please.
I've been doing my own band for close to 30 years.
30 years.
Yes. I've had my own band basically. I wasn't in pure honesty, I'm being too honest, but I couldn't join a band, so I wound up starting a band, and then all the best musicians I found out were like, well, if you need somebody, here. And,
right.
You know. So
right, well, good.
So I got better because I hired better musicians. I still try to hire better musicians because then I have to play up to their level.
Exactly.
And then I can just
well,
play. I don't have to be, you know.
Tell us the story about how you named the band. How did you come up with such a clever name?
Okay. Have you heard it? Well, anyway, here's the deal. I'm at the old Saba Club. I'm doing my first gig.
Saba.
Yeah. I'm doing my first gig for, we're opening for Lonnie Mack. And I I forget, it was either Lonnie Mack or Rory Gallagher, but I think it's Lonnie Mack. And, you know, the guy who owned the Gentry, Sia Shad, says,
Yeah.
hey, man, he goes, Linwood, what do you call the band? And I wanted to call it the Big Tones, and that's another story, but I wanted to call it the Big Tones, but then my friend Cesar Diaz put his hand over my mouth and muffled me, and he goes, it's the Linwood Taylor Band. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? I can't be, but he made me call it the Linwood Taylor Band, and I'm grateful that he did, because it allowed me to work regardless of who was in my band, because I'm the only necessary original member left.
That's perfect. And Caesar, we were just talking about Caesar. He was he repaired a lot of my amps in those early days.
Oh yeah.
And
he repaired my amps. He built my amps. He also did amp work for the stars. I mean, you know, Keith Richards, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Bob Dylan. He played guitar for Bob Dylan as well as teching for Bob. You know.
wow.
So, and there's a, you know, a bunch of, there's that band out of Pennsylvania, Live. You know, basically he did everybody's amp work. You know.
Yep.
Wow.
He was the man. You know. He just happened to be a friend of mine.
Yep. Yep. And he was a really nice person too. And we were talking about Gil Southworth and Southworth Guitars, and he's still selling guitars. And don't let me go there, Lisa. If I say I'm going to go look at the website, I can't even go and look, because I know I'll buy something.
All you have to do is put your credit cards and your checkbooks away. And you'll be all right.
Yep, definitely.
Don't mortgage your house, because he has them like that too.
Yeah, I know. Big, expensive, beautiful, big, expensive guitars. Well, what's your favorite guitar that you own? What's your go-to favorite guitar?
It's between two different Les Pauls.
Oh.
Okay, one they're both new-ish. I mean, one I've had for 22 years, and the other one I've had for about 10 years. And
That's.
One is a replica of a really expensive high-dollar guitar, and the other one is a limited edition custom guitar.
Great. And what amps do you play through?
I play through a Homestead amp. It's basically built by my friend Peter McMahon, who took over Caesar's company.
No.
And
Cool.
You know,
So tell us what you've been doing for the past, how many months? Is it 26 months now since COVID started? 80 months?
Actually, I've been, you know, basically trying to re-energize my love for playing. I was playing a lot, and I was probably needed a break, but, you know, for any number of reasons, you don't take a break. But this break has like allowed me to really re-energize my joy of playing guitar. I mean, I'm the couple of times I've played, I've noticed that I'm hitting areas mentally, physically, musically that I haven't done since my 20s, when it was all still a mystery to me.
So what do you mean? You're exploring new ways to play, or?
Yeah, new ways to play, just a renewed enthusiasm, you know.
Wow, and
for playing.
Good. And now plans. Tell us about what you're recording tomorrow and where.
We're gonna do a live recording at JV's. It's social distance because there's no one there but us. Ain't nobody there but us musicians. You know?
Chickens.
I was just listening
Ain't nobody.
to B.B. King. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was just listening to B.B. King, B.B. King's tribute to Louis Jordan, and I was just thinking, ain't nobody here but us chickens.
Ain't nobody else at all. Yeah, Louis Jordan.
Hey, we got a few folks here. Hi, Bill Starks and Jane Quinn Brack. Hi there. Adele and Rick Wheeler. Hey, good to see everybody. We have more people watching as well, but everybody's here to see Linwood today.
Ooh, I'm scared now.
Well, why don't we put you on the spot then? Why don't you play us something?
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can do this. I do a condensed version. Can't stand this heat, can't stand the rain. Don't wanna take the bus, I'd rather take the train. Politics don't understand and don't care the way, but we all get the blues sometimes. That's safe to say. Well, it's safe to say, yeah. Not much of a fighter, I'm a lover by default. I don't wanna break the law with my little guy get caught. Rather save my money than give it all away, but we all get the blues sometimes. That's safe to say. Whoa, safe to say, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Now wait a minute. All right. Now dig. The world keeps on turning, spinning round and round. Time goes by too fast, I wish it would slow down. And we're living in the same mess, and we're living it day to day. But it's good to feel the blues sometimes. That's safe to say. Well, it's safe to say, yeah. It's safe to say. Look out, baby.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds so sweet. So good to hear that.
Yeah, that's one that I came up with and Tommy Lepson came up with. We collaborated on that.
Oh, nice one. Oh, that's awesome. And Lorna Totman, hi there. Ruthie Lugston says hi. Susan Rowe. All these folks chiming in to see you again.
Oh, cool. Fans, woohoo.
Yes, you got them. So you said you wrote this song. Do you remember when you wrote it and what the circumstances were?
Oh, no, it was a couple of years ago. I was working over at Tommy's studio, right around the corner from me, so to speak, and we came up with this. You know, I said, look, man, I came home one night after show and relax, and I just, while Judy was asleep, and I just started playing this, and it came up, you know. Nice. And and I think Toro put that Joe Walsh piece in there when we were there, the Joe Walsh portion of the song. So that's the three of us I have credits on this. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know. You know, we just came up with a song. You know, it was just great to come up with one. So one question I have for you is when you were coming, well, Diana first had a question about your instrument, the first instrument you played, right, Diana? I think she's on mute. Oh, oops, you pressed the wrong button. Yeah.
Your first instrument wasn't a guitar. What was it?
It was an accordion.
Of course it was.
I mean, you know, what can it say? Lawrence Welk was on TV. Trust me, I did not want that instrument. But, you know, the guy came around to the neighborhood, traveling salesman like people used to do back then. And, you know, he sold my parents. And of course, and I say he sold my parents because what did he say? It would be much easier to play guitar, okay, if I learned to play accordion.
What?
And I was like, here's the thing though. If we were further south and I knew about Zydeco, I might have been like, you know, Chubby Carrier or, you know, Buju Chavez or some of those cats, you know, or Clifton Chenier. But I didn't know about that. It was like Lawrence Welk. That ain't Jimi Hendrix. You know.
What were your parents? What were they thinking? Really, seriously.
my parents were the type of people who would give their son anything. I'm an only child, but they would give him anything. But the thing was, they were gullible to salespeople. I mean,
Too bad there wasn't a guitar salesman going around. So what was the first song that you learned on the accordion?
Silence, the sounds of silence.
Not the Art Garfunkel song, Simon Garfunkel song. Okay.
Decidedly not. The graveyard song.
Yeah. You just sat in the under the bed.
And wee-hoo, wee-hoo. It sounded like me trying to breathe during one of my asthma attacks.
See? So you didn't learn it at all? Like you couldn't pick it up today and play something in the key of E flat?
Huh? I couldn't pick it up today. I couldn't pick it up today. And I remember my parents spent huge bucks because in like 66, that was like, oh my goodness, they spent $500. That was a week's salary.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I don't think my guitar cost $500.
They must have been so disappointed in you, Linwood. Sad.
I was disappointed. Like, y'all fell for that.
And you don't still have it, do you?
Of course not. It rotted away. It rusted, whatever. It rotted away. And I think it got moldy. And sadly, my mother was the type of person who, it's old, throw it out. She had no clue, about vintage or whatever, refurbished, that kind of thing. That wasn't her generation's thing,
Right.
All right. So when did you rebel and say, I want to play the guitar?
Oh, before they bought that. Okay. I mean, I was, a true Sagittarian, tunnel vision guitar. So that's what, I eventually got an acoustic guitar, although it wasn't a Stratocaster. So, like Jimi Hendrix, but I got I got an acoustic and I learned to play on that.
So how old were you? Do you remember when you started to play?
I was about right before I turned 13. So, that was 68.
So did you have like a little guitar book and did all the notes and the scales and that kind of thing as a little kid?
I had a chord book and I figured it out myself, and most of the people in my class played guitar. The teacher, and out of 40 students, 30 of them played guitar.
Wow. Okay. So when you started, were you drawn, were you listening to the Beatles and stuff, or what got you really interested in playing rock and roll? Because that's eventually where you went.
I saw a video clip of Jimi Hendrix.
Ah, there you go.
And that was in 67.
Cool.
And then my pops always had some cool music in the house. Jazz, rock and roll.
Oh, jazz too. Cool.
Yeah. Well, jazz, rock and roll, that kind of thing. I mean, the story I tell is in order to keep my guitar, I had to learn to play Bill Doggett's Honky Tonk.
Okay, good.
I mean, that was my pop's favorite record.
Great, that's great. Yep, I love that song. That's a perfect song. We have a comment here from Rick. He says, he loves your guitar work. I can hear some Jimi Hendrix influence in the sound, like the song too, about your last song. Do you get that a lot? Do people expect you to play Jimi Hendrix, and does that kind of pigeonhole you a little bit?
It is what it is. Jimi is part of my DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I realize there are a lot more influences than Jimi, but Jimi is probably one of the most prominent. I can't help it. I mean, and in fact, admittedly, it's one of the reasons I don't play Stratocasters as much as I used to nowadays.
Now, aren't you ambidextrous? Can you play your guitar upside down and backwards?
No.
Can you play
your toes?
No, I'm only ambidextrous on the basketball court.
Okay.
Well, that's a good place to be ambidextrous. That's for sure.
Although, an interesting aside, when I started playing guitar, I started out playing left-handed, and then I injured my third finger on my right hand. So while it was healing, I switched over to right hand, and
Oh.
you know, it was a blessing in disguise. I never looked back from it.
Wow, and that's interesting. You know, when Les Paul once broke his arm,
Yes.
and he was getting, you know that story? He was getting his cast, and
I hung out with Les.
you did? So
Yeah.
did he
Wow.
tell you that story? That he asked him to put the cast on like this so he could play guitar.
He didn't have to. I know. I already knew about that story. I already knew about Les Paul, you know. So, but it's like I got to meet him a couple of times. It was really cool.
Wow.
That's neat.
So you said you grew up with some jazz in the house too, because when I grew up, we didn't have any jazz music at all. I only discovered it when I was older. But kind of looking back and listening to guitar players, do you feel like you're influenced by any jazz guitar players?
Probably a little bit more peripherally, and probably the one jazz guy that I probably listened to was Wes Montgomery.
Wes Montgomery, yeah.
Because to me, Wes was probably the original pop jazz guy. I mean, he recorded Eleanor Rigby, which is like, you know, oh my goodness, a jazz guy doing a Beatles song at the height of the Beatles' popularity. I was like, but that's what got people listening to jazz.
Yeah.
And a lot of the cats were like, oh, we don't listen to that. But it's like, no, it's music. It's communicating with people. So if you want to communicate with people, you need to speak their language sometimes.
Yeah. So you told us that you really wanted to be a rock and roller when you were a kid, and that's kind of your direction. And tell us about how things transpired, like as your career went forward. What way did you branch out?
I wanted to be a rock and roller, but I took gigs that had nothing to do with rock and roll, folk gigs, you know, whatever. It was about playing guitar. It's like I was a huge fan of guitar, period. So I kind of listened to everybody, even though I didn't like everybody's songs, if you will, but you know, or their music, but I might have liked their guitar playing, kind of a thing. Like I could say I never was a huge country guy, you know, I'm still not, but I understand it now. I like it. I appreciate it. But let's face it, when there was only 3 or 4 channels back in the day, you know, not like now, I watch Hee Haw.
Yeah.
I mean, even in our community, we watched Hee Haw. We knew that song, you know, and I found out later Roy Clark was from this area.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, he played at the what's the place down by the Peace Cross?
Oh, Crossroads.
That Crossroads. Yep, he played there. I think he did.
We couldn't go there back then.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
It's PG County. We couldn't go there back then. I couldn't go there to see Roy Buchanan because he played there a lot too. So did Danny.
He did. Yep.
Although Danny introduced me to Roy.
Oh, wow. That's a bunch of great guitar players getting together there. So that the show Hee Haw, as awful as it was in so many ways, it had some really good musicians on it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and sometimes, you know, Roy would get up there with Buck Owens and he would twang out, man. But man, I'm like, man, that guy's good, you know.
So do you know much about Glenn Campbell's music at all?
Diana just cameraed this off. But,
yeah, I think she'll.
I'm familiar with Glenn Campbell. I'm familiar that he was part of the Wrecking Crew.
Yep.
You know, the Ace LA. She's back. She's, you know, the studio guys in LA. And, you know, basically they found out he could sing. They said, put that guitar down, son, you know.
But he was an awesome guitar player. I didn't discover that until like 5 years ago. I was like, you know, oh, Glenn Campbell, you know. To me, he never really seemed like a serious, you know, musician. But my God, you know, talk about rediscovering.
Check this out. Back in the 70s, there was some kind of music award or Grammys or whatever, I don't know. But there was a segment where George Benson you know, he just broke out with that Breezin' album.
Oh yeah.
So he's doing that, and he's gonna jam with Glenn Campbell. And I look and I say, Glenn Campbell, and then Glenn comes out with a 12-string, and I'm like, a 12-string. I'm like, oh man, what is this? And man, the next thing I know, Glenn was keeping up with George. I mean, they were like, and my eyes just popped out. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my goodness, this guy can really play. I had no idea, you know.
Yeah, quite a shock.
You know, I was still young back then and knew it all. So, you know, not like now and realize I don't know anything.
Right.
But back then,
that's what happens when you get older.
Yeah.
So show us your guitar and then play us another song. How about that?
Do what? Show us your guitar?
Show us your guitar, because we can't see it when you're playing. Yeah, and turn it around.
It's pretty.
It's a Les Paul Gold Top, older than I am, and it's all gold. Front.
It's beautiful.
Back and front.
It's beautiful.
Okay. All right, let me see if I can come up with something here. All right, I got this song that it came about as a result of coming home from work, you know, playing music, and they're just like these awful infomercials. That's what they were. This is, you know, they were infomercials, so I came up with this. So it's like I don't need a socket, baby. I don't need to call the hotline. I don't need a socket, baby. I don't need to call the hotline. There's a strange man in my house. Well, I know there ain't no psychic friend. I call you on the telephone, but you answered awful slow. I call you on the telephone, baby, but you answered awful slow. When you picked up, well, I didn't know his name was Mo. Oh no, I don't need a psychic, baby. Don't need to call the hotline. I don't need a psychic, baby. I don't need to call the hotline. So there's no point for you to start crying. Now wait a minute. I'll tell you, yeah, I believe you're playing me for a fool. I do believe, baby, you said you were going to school. So there's no baby, I know you're playing me for a fool. I don't need a psychic, baby. Don't need to call the hotline. I don't need a psychic, baby. I don't need to call the hotline. So there's no point for you to start crying.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. We have a few more hellos. We got Jeff Smith says, morning all. Hi, good morning.
It's distorting a little bit. Connecting video. Something happened.
Yeah, there'll be a few glitches.
It
Y'all
happens
there.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Are we back? Are we there?
We're back. We're here. Yeah, I think it's freezing just a little bit, but we hear you fine.
Okay. It's kind of distorting there.
Yeah. This is modern technology, unfortunately.
We're using, what are we using, Lisa? Not Zoom today. We're using
Messenger.
something else.
Facebook.
Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. So, Linwood, so you say you're recording tomorrow.
Yes.
What's it been like not being out and doing gigs for you?
What's it like? Oh, it's kind of like, oh, well, you have to do some other things. Basically try to maintain your sanity, that kind of thing, jump up and down, maybe.
Oops.
Oh,
We lost Linwood.
okay. I think he had a little bit of a rough connection there. So I think, having not done this before, I think we need to sign off and sign back in. So.
Oh. Everyone stay tuned then?
Hang on. Let me see if I can get him back in.
Okay.
I'm not sure I can. Aw.
Messenger. Facebook Messenger.
Wait, I think I can try to get him back in. Okay. Let's see if this works. I'm going to call him. It just might be locked, though, because we're live.
Oh, I bet you're right.
Let's give it a shot. See what happens. Do you have hold music to play, Diana?
Sure. Do, 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 do.
Let's see. Okay.
I can do everyone's reading, psychic reading.
You can do that. All right. You speak among yourselves.
Let's see. Jeff Smith, I see an early evening for you tonight and back up in the morning tomorrow. Rick Wheeler, I see some P90s in your future. Ruthie, I see a marathon viewing of old Hee Haw episodes. No? Bill Starks, where's your roll-up piano? Bill, we want you to be on the show soon. I'll call you. I'll have my person call your person.
All right, the technical person is going to say, let's sign off and sign back in. All right.
You guys don't go anywhere, okay? Stay on our page. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.